We're probably good. Okay. We good?
Let me check. Yeah, you're live.
Okay. Sweet. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Bye. All right. Stop. Okay, everybody. Technical difficulties, but we have a couple minutes here. I was saying that these estranged adult, like, people need guidance and mentorship, and they need parents like almost now more than ever. And that's like the devastating part of this whole thing for them, is that they have to navigate it alone. And ironically, that was the whole problem in the first place, was the emotional neglect and abuse of, like, you just need to grow up. Like, the expectation of them was always further for them than their developmental level. Like, always. Like, you should know this. They're 5 years old. You should know this. You know? Like, you are 10 years old. You should know this. You're 15 years old. Think. You know, that's like what people tell kids. Like, I don't understand why you can't think. And it's like, they're not built that way. They're bottom up. Come on. Like, so they've been shamed from the beginning, and that's what's continuing to happen now. It's like, well, now they're adults. Shouldn't they be fine? Shouldn't they finally be this? And it's just such a lack. Like, it's so disappointing. Like, it's so disappointing to see this over and over and over, to see people dig in their heels in this concept, to see older therapists, to see older parents still that are on the extreme end of this problem, like, be estranged. It literally all ties back to also the, like, male loneliness epidemic, and, like, women, when they could divorce men, they did, because what were they getting out of it if they could financially provide for themselves? And it's all the same stuff. It's all men and parents and older people that are in these power positions that they don't realize that are showing their asses right now. They really are. Like, I posted a video yesterday. Do y'all remember that article? It was, I don't even know. I guess social media wasn't that big in terms of news at that point in 2016. Do y'all remember the article that was like, my wife left me because I left my dishes by the sink? Do you remember that article? I remember, blew my mind. I was like, okay, I'm with it. And then at the end, he was like, someone needs to teach men that, you know, their behavior has an emotional impact on the marriage, and that they need to consider their wives' emotions. And I was like, men should be teaching other men that. That's like, who else's responsibility would that be other than men? But the article was like, the point was just that he reduced his wife's issues, like, oh, she's nagging me, or she's just, you know, like, she's always making me do stuff around the house. Like, he left the marriage thinking that, like, she divorced him, and he left the marriage thinking, like, she divorced me for all of these trivial things. And then later, and this is what the article is about, is him realizing that he actually messed up in major ways, and he didn't see his wife for what she needed and what she felt. And so that was the core issue, is that he had no empathy for her or consideration of her. And that's the issue. And that's the issue with these estranged parents, is even though they have been through these times in life that their kids are actively going through, they have zero empathy for them. They still feel like they need to be the center of their lives, or that they're entitled to some type of mutual relationship, as if they're in the same developmental phase of life. Like, and that's crazy. That's a crazy thing to say. Who is really entitled? I mean, not to say, I'm not even saying entitled. I'm using their own language, but isn't that crazy? Isn't that, when you think about it, it's like, it's just so crazy. And maybe they just forget. And I think that's the hardest part of this is for people, the grief process of realizing that, yeah, your parents are human, and that's kind of the problem, that they don't see themselves as leaders. They don't see themselves in this power position. That is the problem. And if you want to say that I'm like becoming aware right now of the criticism I've gotten for this point of view, like there are two sides here, like two people have to be willing to do that. And that's so, again, minimizing of the issue. If parents realize their role as parents and the power they have, there would not be these issues. And that's the bottom line. If kids did something different, that wouldn't change it, you know? So, that's the thing here. Okay, we have our caller's number. Okay, so I'm going to pause here and we're going to do our call. And oh my gosh, this is going to be exciting. We had some I wouldn't say mishaps, but I wasn't sure if this was going to happen. And let's see here. So I don't know. Do you guys, I mean, I can't see comments here, but that's the ultimate thing and that's what everyone is struggling with, is just this grief. Everybody's grieving, and it's unfortunate because the people that have power to actually restore the relationship are the parents. And that's also not totally true. Like, kids can go through this grieving process, and when they do, they just don't really, they don't feel that need for their parents anymore. So they might even treat their parents more like optional relationships. So they just don't feel badly about it anymore. And so that is the power that kids have over their own lives these days to heal, but it doesn't necessarily heal the relationship. And that's what happened with this guy in the article. Was he sure could have restored the relationship with his ex, but we don't know if the relationship could have had repair at that point, you know? Here we go. I'm just texting with our caller, Tony. Tony's our caller. We'll see. I only actually have 15, 20 minutes left. So we're going to see if it works. It might not. But thank you guys for being understanding. This is the first time we've done this, obviously. So, you know what? I'm probably going to do this with her tomorrow. We're probably going to do this with her tomorrow and see if it works. But thank you for coming to my TED Talk today. I don't know. It's all just tragic and sad. So we're going to do our caller justice and communicate with her and set this up for tomorrow. So, and then I'll figure it out. Maybe depending on how long it is, I can talk about it just live tomorrow. So join us tomorrow at 10:30 Central. We're going to do the call then. And thanks for watching Class with Kate. Stay studious. Stay a student of your life. I'll see you.